Hello everyone, this is Sam Carlegian. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another amazing vehicle. This is my favorite sedan at the moment, or sportback if you want to call it. The 2021 Volkswagen Arteon with the R Line package. The Arteon is, as I said, one of my favorite vehicles. And today I'm going to show you why you should look into this instead of the Audi A5 sportback. Now, let's start first with the pricing. So, the Audi A5 will take Canada first. The base model starts at $51,000. Meanwhile, this model here starts at less than that. And loaded, you're looking at about $53,000. That's a huge difference between a fully loaded Audi, which can go up to $70,000 or so for the A5 Sportback. Most importantly is the fact that this thing is a great looking vehicle. 20-inch wheels, and of course, beautiful design. It also has the frameless doors, similar to the Audi vehicles. As you can see, the front one and the rear end as well, the second row. Beautiful shape of this. So, first of all, let's talk about the 2021 model. What do we get for this year? Is anything changed compared to the previous generation? Well, the trims remain very much the same, which is technically one. This one is equipped with the R Line package, which is more like an appearance package. As you can see, the badge. It also has the new logo that Volkswagen has introduced it to the new generation. The front end remains very similar to the previous model, but now we have a difference in the daylight running light. So it starts all the way here and it continues all the way to the other side. I absolutely love how beautiful this vehicle is. When the Volkswagen CC came out into the market, I was obsessed with that vehicle, which was the predecessor of this generation. And now they call it the Arteon. In Europe, Europeans will enjoy a more and better looking vehicle. For example, the Arteon Sportback, the shooting brake model, which offers an R package as well and makes over 300 horsepower. Unfortunately, North Americans don't get to enjoy that kind of treasure. We only get this. The story about the Arteon, it seems like that it might go off the market in a few years. I think Volkswagen might decide to get rid of this because it hasn't done very well in North America compared to the other models. On top of that, the problem that customers see with this model specifically is that a fully loaded one is $53,000. For the same amount of money, you could probably end up getting a big SUV. So most people look into that, and I think that's one major reason why sedans are also dying. And it's not the fault of the car because it's such an amazing vehicle. It's more the demand that the market is offering today. People are looking to get into SUVs. So if they look at the price of this, they say, well, for the same thing, similar engine as well, they could get an Atlas Cross Sport, which is bigger. Technically, space-wise, they might be the same. The trunk on this thing is huge, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I think the reason why this thing not necessarily failed, it's the fact that the consumers are changing their taste on vehicles. And on top of that, the options out there now are massive. So if this was below the average price of an SUV, a mid-size SUV, it would have done very well. In Europe, though, it's a different story. It's done very, very well. Most importantly, the Arteon is actually made in Germany. And that's a good reason because the product, I believe, might be better than the other models that are made, for example, in Mexico. What I love about this is, of course, the wheels, 20-inch wheels, beautiful. Under the hood, the Arteon uses a 2-liter engine. It makes 268 horsepower, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's also an all-wheel drive system, great for snow days. Most importantly, I love the shape of this. And I said the frameless door is one thing. Let me go on the back and let me show you some cool things at the back as well. Special thanks for this video goes to our good friends at Volkswagen St. Catherine for allowing me to borrow this and show you what it's all about. If you want to know more about them or take this for a test drive, the link will be in the description box. Now, if you are interested in this vehicle, I will say something. You won't find many models right now because not many dealerships order them since it didn't do very well the previous years. So there's very limited. In fact, they only have one at this dealership and couldn't find another 2 other dealerships that I work with. Now, let's talk about the rear end. As I said, this has the R Line package. The R Line package offers this beautiful lip at the top, the spoiler black, and the beautiful thing with this white color complements the thing all through. My favorite part, tail lights. absolutely European style design. That's what I love about this car. It resembles very much European cars, and most importantly, gets very close to the Audi A5 with the tail lights very much the same in here. My favorite part about this is the backup camera. Now this is equipped with a 360 camera, but most important is that you don't see anything around here, and we know it's hidden inside there. On top of that, you can also use this, press it, and it has a power liftgate. The most important thing about this vehicle is the fact that it's a sportback, and that means it offers massive trunk space for a vehicle this size. We also have some more space underneath here, and it also has a spare tire. Besides the trunk space, it also has a lot of space in the back too for the second row. So as you can see, I'm nice and comfortable. My head is not touching the roof because the way this is designed, sort of pushed up a little bit, so that way it gives more headroom. It's very comfortable. And on top of that, we have heated seats in the back and a single climate unit. Again, very similar to the Audi A5. Actually, the buttons look exactly the same as the A5. It's nice and comfortable, spacious, beautiful leather interior, and it is stylish inside. That's what I love about this car. Now let's jump in the front and let me show you how cool this thing is. Now let's talk about the interior. Of course, it has received an update from the previous generation of the Volkswagen Arteon. But one thing you notice in here is the fact that because it is part of the family of the Audi brand, well, Volkswagen is actually the big brand, the mother brand that owns them. But one thing you notice is, of course, the inspiration have received from the Audi. For example, the frames all the way through, the interior, it's nice and stylish. This beautiful line all the way. It has changed inside. The interior in here looks as luxurious, in my opinion, as an Audi. And a lot of things you see in here, you will see them in Audi vehicles as well. Now, into this area, things very much the same as the previous generation. We have park assist, we have 360 camera, we have the, of course, start and stop option, and driving modes. We'll talk about that when we take it for a test drive, 2 cup holders, and so on. It also has a wireless charging pad right in there. You have wireless connectivity for the infotainment system for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now, let me give you a quick tour in here, all the details that you get. Okay, so let's talk about the interior part. Let's start first with the steering wheel. As you can see, it has the R Line package. It has the R Line badge at the bottom, the new Volkswagen logo as well. As you can see, thinner compared to the previous generation. The steering wheel is what I love about this vehicle. It's how comfortable and, of course, how grip it is. Most importantly, now we have a new updated unit for both sides. So now it's actually haptic. It's not necessarily like a button as you see in the previous generation, and you just press it once. It's exactly the same as the older iPhones, like the iPhone 6 or 5, for example. When you press the home button, it feels exactly the same thing. It has a full digital cluster, and of course, very similar to the Audi, you can change the view. You can add, for example, the built-in navigation system where you can see the navigation fully. As you can see right there, you change the view. Now you can have full screen, and it still shows you the speed and so on. So it's pretty smart onto that side. This has the adaptive cruise control, which technically drives itself. As you can see onto the side here, we have gap assist, lane assist as well, and then you can turn it on, the pilot assist on this area. So we have lane assist, the ACC cruise control, of course. You can change all the settings in there. Side assist as well, the rear traffic alerts, front assist, and so on. So it's a full adaptive cruise control, something that Volkswagen has waited, something that Volkswagen should have offered last year, but they didn't. Now they're offering this year. Now, my favorite part, the climate unit over here. So if you get closer, you don't see any buttons in there. And again, it is very haptic, very similar. So my favorite part is the fan control. So you don't see the actual button, but what you do is hold it down, and then it will increase and decrease this way. So it is a touchscreen option. Same thing for this side. You can change, and it also shows in the screen. So exactly, so where you're pointing the fan speed and so on. It's very smart. I will say that it's very smart. Then we have the temperature here, decrease and increase. It has ventilated seats and heated seats. You can press it once or twice, and then the third time, and then it turns off. Very smart. The infotainment system, my favorite part too. Now it has received a new software. This year they've introduced something that BMW uses in their vehicle. So for example, if you want to move the menu left to right, you just do this swipe kind of thing. It doesn't work all the time, but it works. There we go. And he makes that noise. Not sure why they did that. They use it. It's not the smartest thing, but I guess for some people. Most importantly, we have a 360 camera. You can turn it on over there. It shows exactly everything around. It is sharp. It is clear. Again, similar features to the Audi A5. Not very different. The infotainment system is equipped with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We have vehicle here. You can change tire pressure. You can see the tire pressure in here. Vehicle status, if there's any problems with it. And of course, a lot of other features. Very similar to other Volkswagen vehicles. You can keep using that. It's pretty smart when it works, but other than that, it just doesn't work all the time. You can use it for here too. It takes some time, but it does the job fine. I've covered everything you need to know about the 2021 Arteon. It's time to take this for a test drive and see how it does on the road. It's my first time actually driving this generation, so I want to figure out if it's any different from the A5. I just recently reviewed the A5, so I want to compare it to this. This makes about 8 horsepower more than the A5, but I've been told that this actually drives nicely and it drives better in some ways than the A5. Anyways, let's find out. Let's take it for a test drive. Okay, so let's take this for a drive. I absolutely love how this thing looks. That's one thing I noticed. As you approach the car, you notice this thing looks really European. That's one thing I noticed with that. It's one of those cars. It's sexy on the outside. It's beautiful lines. It's also very comfortable inside too. My camera person loves this car, and that just shows you I'm not alone on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this? Is it nice? Does it look nice? Does it look weird? I love, and it has a power kick too. Nice. I like it. It goes when it wants to go. Simple as that. You gotta love this thing. Now let's talk about in here, into sport mode, the transmission. And then driving modes in here, as you can see, we have sport, custom, normal, eco, and all that. I want to put it in sport mode and see, and here we go. We also have pedal shifters as well. Gonna have some fun with this. So let's push it a little and see how good this thing is compared to the Audi A5. The engine is zippy. It reacts quickly. Brakes are a bit touchy. That's one thing I noticed with this. It's also brand new, so it takes time for the brakes to break in, I guess, to start warming up a little, but let's push this here. Nice. Nice, 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 fantastic. I love this thing. It drives quickly. It drives quick when you need it to. It has that power. Let's try into manual mode, downshift. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah, this thing, it will go when you want it to go. It's enjoyable. That's one thing I love about it, and it's sleek inside. When you get inside, you notice this is not just a standard Volkswagen. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions and maybe persuade you to get into this instead of the Audi A5. I think you should take both for a test drive. If you can actually find one of this, go to Volkswagen St. Catherine, take it for a test drive, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I said that this actually drives really nicely. With that in mind, stay safe. Cheers.